and no one knows when it will end.
Well, I mean, you gotta cut back on the grocery bill quite a bit, and cut down on the heat, clothing.
Getting married in July, I don't even know if I got a job.
Stagflation is miserable. So miserable that economists use a misery index to measure it. This index is calculated by adding the inflation rate to the unemployment rate. In 1982, the misery index in Canada hit a high of 22, with 11% inflation and 11% unemployment. That was up by half from 6 years earlier, almost double the long-term average, and the highest ever recorded in Canada. People not only lost their money, they lost their lives. When the misery index gets high enough, people take drastic steps to end their misery.
Afraid that the mass media are tending to try to make citizens experts on everything. You know, only about 1/10 of you should be listening to that news.
The suicide rate reached a record high in 1983, Mr. Trudeau's last full year in office, at 14.8 per 100,000. That was an 8% increase from 1980. 7 of the 8 worst years for the suicide rate in Canada happened when Pierre Trudeau was Prime Minister. And the suicide rate rose 50% from the year he took office until the last year he held power. And even today, the pain and anxiety of doubling home prices, rising homelessness, and generationally high inflation has otherwise healthy people considering ending their lives. The CEO of the Mississauga Food Bank has said some have reached out asking for help with medical assistance in dying, not because they are sick, but because misery and poverty is too much to go on living.
When I say that this is an emergency in the community, people who are living at the bottom income percentile in our community are talking to us now about taking their own lives because it's too hard to be poor any longer.
Starting March 2024,